Alright, here we go. The names that ring strange, and I like games. The good, the bad, the ones that are playing strange. Used to go out and raise the dead, now I just play Nintendo instead. I'm going back again, I'm buying them all, even if it takes me selling my soul. Oh, oh, motherfucker, oh, 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 oh.
So another year has come and gone. Kinda like a dead hooker. You know, like disposing of the body and all that shit. Anyway, also, I only had 3 video game reviews this year. Wow. I'm a fucking slacker. Lazy as fuck. But anyway, Christmas time. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. So that brings us to tonight's episode. You know, a couple years back when Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas, a few major things happened, like big fucking changes. Yeah. Firstly, the Star Wars movies come out around the holidays now. And the next installment is a side story spin-off called Rogue One that everyone's talking about. Hey, Rogue One! Hey, have you seen the trailers for the new Star Wars movie, Rogue One? Hey, did you know Rogue One takes place in between episodes 3 and 4, and it shows how the rebels got the Death Star plans? Of course I know all this shit. I'm one of the world's biggest Star Wars fans. I know there's a new movie coming out. And also, when Disney acquired Star Wars, they retconned almost the entire expanded universe. You know, all the little shit that happened in between the major films. So I'm gonna go out on a limb because it kind of pissed me off and say, you know what? Screw Rogue One. How about Dark Forces, motherfucker? Back when first-person shooters were still kind of in their infancy and they were just starting to take off, the 2 biggest ones I can think of that come to mind are Doom and Duke Nukem. In Doom, you could shoot sprite-based enemies like demons from hell, and Duke Nukem had cool shit like killing pig cops. Haha, get it? And you could also throw money at not real strippers. Get it? Because they're sprite-based, so it shouldn't be offensive, but I'm sure someone's still gonna get fucking offended even though it's 2016. Oh wait, that's what everybody did in 2016, was get fucking offended by everything. Yeah, here you go. Take some dollar bills, y'all. Shake it, baby. Shake it, baby. Who loves you, baby? Boobs. Sometime in the 90s, LucasArts made a first-person shooter set in the Star Wars universe. From what I recall, it's one of the first, if not the first, Star Wars first-person shooter games. And how many fucking times did I just say the word first? That shit's classic. Except, not really. We play as Kyle Katarn, who's some freelance mercenary that used to work for the Empire. And by now, you're probably wondering about 2 things. Number 1, just like last year, what the fuck does this episode have to do with Christmas? And to that, I say, who fucking cares? And number 2, you're probably saying, how many times is this tattooed idiot gonna butcher the name Katarn? Yeah, fuck off, I'm from Boston. You guys should know this by now if you've been watching my videos. To me, words with the letters A and R close together don't get pronounced. You know, like far, car, fart, hot, all that stuff. And while we're on the subject, we might as well get this next part out of the way, because I know what you all want to hear me say. In Star Wars, Kyle Katarn parked his car at Harvard Yard. Ugh, I can't wait to hear my voice say that like 1,000 times while I edit this video. Okay, so moving on. The first mission takes Katarn to a secret Imperial base that holds the Death Star plans. Did you get that, Rogue One? Kyle steals the plans, drops them off to the rebels, and then Star Wars Episode 4 happens. For those of you that don't know Star Wars shit, Harrison Ford helps blow up a giant space testicle that destroys planets. But back to my original point at the beginning of this episode. Forget Rogue One. Kyle Katarn stole the Death Star plans from the Empire before it was cool. Well, honestly, that's kinda all I got for this episode. It was basically just like a quick nerd rant. So you guys want me to keep going, or... Fuck it, let's just roll with the game a little bit more. So I gotta say, the controls are fucked. They're stiffer than my cock after a marathon of unicorn porn. I'm playing the port of the game for the original PlayStation, before they were analog sticks and all that shit, so you gotta move around with a stupid ass D-pad. Which wouldn't be an issue if the game was on a flat plane, like Doom or Wolfenstein. But in Dark Forces, there's like multiple floors and angles, and enemies all over the place. So you gotta hold the L1 button to toggle the D-pad to look up and down, to reach enemies that are above or below you. Kyle's got access to all kinds of cool Star Wars guns, like his blaster pistol, and I'm gonna let you insert your own dick joke right there, stormtrooper rifles, rocket launchers, thermal detonators, and some weird green acid gun that the instruction manual says that the Empire uses on mining planets. You learn something new every day. The other cool thing is that since this game was a spin-off, it doesn't directly follow the film specifically. Dark Forces made up its own story that was canon. Damn you, Disney. Someone should make that into a song. Though I did love Episode 7, and Kylo Ren is my new favorite Star Wars character. So, after stealing the Death Star plans, Katarn stays helping the rebellion for a while by hunting down the fattest fuck working for the Empire. This asshole, Rom Mock, who's working on some new kind of stormtrooper called Dark Troopers. There's two kinds you fight in the game. One is like an exoskeleton prototype without armor that scared the fuck out of me when I was a teenager. I mean, when I was a kid. I mean, when I was a grown man. Look at that thing. Terrifying. It's like the Terminator movies. How is that not scary as shit? He's chasing me through a fucking air vent. Later on, Kyle fights even more Dark Troopers with the full body armor and jetpacks. So they're almost like Stormtrooper Boba Fett's, basically. So as I revisit this game like 2 decades later, and after being spoiled over the years by the HD games that run so smoothly these days, and as much as I loved this game growing up, holy fuck, that fucking frame rate is pure, smelly garbage. Just like this sewer stage that I'm in right now. Oh my god. Fucking look at this. It's like 3 frames per second. Damn, I was a patient kid back then. I think. The graphics at the time were great, but holy ass. All this shit just blurs and pixelates together, and is dark as fuck. Like, how in the orange and blue hell am I supposed to see where I'm fucking going? Seriously, ugh! I can't wait to see how this shitty game footage comes out during editing. What do you want me to say? I'm just a professional idiot / metrosexual tattoo artist douchebag with no clue as to how to write and produce properly made professional videos on the internet that nobody watches. Though the graphics aren't completely atrocious, it's just really an aged game and an old engine. And also you gotta take into consideration that this is the PlayStation 1 version. I've never played the PC version, which I've heard is way better and smoother. Just like my ass. Those nitpicks aside, the game's solid. It's got atmosphere, and the music is fucking fantastic, and it really immerses you in the Star Wars universe. Most of the planets in the game, I hadn't heard of at the time. Back then, I don't think they were in any of the films, just the expanded universe. The missions are all over the place, in a good way. Sewage plants, a robot factory on an ice planet that isn't Hoth, canyon fortresses, detention centers, and there's even a stage where Katarn sneaks onto a Star Destroyer, taking out an Imperial army all by himself. Damn, fucker. You go, girl. Oh, and actually pretty cool, there's a part where Kyle gets captured by Jabba the Fat Fuck Hutt, and takes all of Kyle's weapons away, and you gotta fight Kell Dragons with your bare fists. Don't know what a Kell Dragon is? It's, I don't know, some giant hairy iguana or something like that. Shut up, it's Star Wars. It fucking makes sense. And now, thanks to Disney, Kell Dragons probably don't exist anymore. So yeah, the expanded universe kept Katarn around long after the movies. He eventually becomes a Jedi in Dark Forces 2, And even later on, he helps Luke Skywalker train new students with the Force, which I had mentioned before in the Jedi Academy game. And even the Dark Troopers themselves made other appearances. They were in the original Battlefront games, but I think this time they were humans wearing armor. In The Force Unleashed, Vader's secret apprentice Starkiller, no, not that Starkiller, ends up taking on some Dark Troopers, and they're fucking terrifying 13-foot tall droids. So they're probably robots in this game, because according to the timeline, Force Unleashed takes place between episodes 3 and 4, and Dark Forces starts off between 3 and 4, but more closer to 4 about to happen, and then it splits off for a year. In which during Force Unleashed, the Empire would probably still be using the prototype droids or something, because Dark Forces hasn't happened yet, because Force Unleashed happened before Dark Forces, which happens before episode 4. Well, confused the fuck out of myself, so fuck it. And besides, like I said, Disney fucked it all up now. None of this shit matters anymore. Assholes. My whole life's meaningless. All this Star Wars knowledge I've obtained over the years, it means nothing now. Nah, it's cool. They had to start somewhere, and it would have taken them years to sort through all the shit that's been written over the years and add to the mythology, so I understand where they were coming from. And also, I thought episode 7 was fucking awesome. I've seen it like 1,000,000 times.
Excellent.
Well, I guess that's all I got for you guys, so have a good night, Merry motherfucking Christmas, be excellent to each other, and remember to not forget about Kyle motherfucking Katarn.